Hey, what's going on, guys? All on channel host Sega Forever here. Just a quick video, something that I wanted to talk about. I'm pretty sure you guys saw the news with the status of Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard, and how analysts are saying and people in the know are saying that Microsoft could acquire Activision Blizzard, that deal could be finalized by next month, August 2022. Now, as with anything else, when it comes to Microsoft and acquisitions of this nature, please take everything with a grain of salt. Of course, I am a pro Xbox channel. Um, if that happens, I'll be completely happy, right? Because, like I said in my first video coming back as Xbox All In, the reason I do this channel is because I'm just getting tired of all the hate that Microsoft gets continually, given that we're 5 years removed in the Phil Spencer era of Xbox, and a lot of the things that Xbox has done to kind of change the fate of the Xbox One, right? From doing the Xbox One console of games to this, all the way up to what we have now, which is the Series console of games. And in between, having Game Pass and all this stuff that pretty much addressed a lot of the concerns people had, and then just pushing the industry and gaming in general forward, right? And of course, I don't think Microsoft gets enough kudos for that. And even though Microsoft has been doing everything they can to be consumer friendly and to be put gamers first, and to also push the narrative of technology and breaking barriers when it comes to gaming, we still find ourselves in these situations where people continually doubt them. So, look, I'm not going to sit here and read the article. A lot of people have done videos of it and get into the particulars of it. Not that I don't like the particulars of it, but no, I actually do. But like I said, I want to keep this video short. And basically, I only want to do this video to give my 2 cents, which is I hope it does go through. The sooner the better, right? As you guys know, after the Bethesda games, Starfield and Redfall were both delayed till 2023, right? Everybody pretty much lost their minds. And I can understand that from the people that hate Xbox and the people that hate Microsoft. That's not a problem. People are just trying to do clickbait. That's part of the course. Um, it's been that way since 2013, even though Microsoft has done a lot to change that. You know that's always going to exist, right? People want views. People want to get their money, right? But the thing again, like I said in my first video on coming back, the people that really irritated me were the Xbox guys, right? These are the guys that are the bigger channels that really should be representing Xbox to the best of their ability and actually putting the truth out there and to counter some of these negative narratives that are out there. You know, a lot of these guys like to sit there and say, well, we don't want to show favoritism, you know, we're gamers, and all the excuses that they give because they don't want to, you know, get into the trenches like the rest of us. And that's why my channel exists. And another reason why I hope this acquisition goes through by next month, right? Because when those 2 games delayed, again, that was Redfall and Starfield, and people started complaining, and then things just snowballed into something that was blown out of proportion. You know, games get delayed all the time. And the most important thing that people are not realizing is that we have the most powerful console now. We have the best online service right now. We have the best gaming service, right, with Game Pass. A lot of the comments that people make disparaging Game Pass just tells me they don't have it, because the majority of the people who play Game Pass, like myself, the only real complaint we have is just not having enough time, right? Because the service is that good. And because Game Pass is so good, they can afford, at least Microsoft can afford to delay games, right? I'm not saying it should be par for the course, but they're going to do what's right. And having Game Pass in the corner affords them, um, you know, that little bit of space to make those tough calls, right? Which to me, I mean, if I'm being honest, is not a tough call. And this is where Activision Blizzard comes in. Because if this thing goes through next month, man, everything is just out the window at that point, right? And that's what Microsoft has been doing. I've talked about this ad nauseum on my channel with the videos that I've been doing, right? Microsoft has just been hitting, you know, just dinging these homers, you know, year after year, just month after month. They're constantly in the news, whether positive or negative. But I'm telling you right now, Microsoft and Xbox is batting way over 500 at this point, right? And for every negative news, you have 5 positive news, and out of that 4 or 5 news, there's like 2 major announcements, right? The other one, which I talked about the other day, was Microsoft possibly buying Netflix. Man, that could be another game changer. You know, it's like it shows that Microsoft is operating on their own level, and that everything underneath it, right, is just along for the ride. And again, this is why I want this thing to go through as soon as possible. Right, the sooner this acquisition goes through, Couple things Microsoft can do. They can start focusing on stuff like purchasing Netflix. I'm not saying it's going to happen, right? Maybe move on to other companies they can, that they have good relationships with. Companies that can bring something to the table to Microsoft. Like the stories are out there that Platinum's trying to talk to Microsoft again, right? To finish Scalebound and to do other projects with them. Right? This is what happens when you start getting the market share. This is what happens when people take you seriously. This is basically, if I'm being political here, this is peace through strength, right? This is what Microsoft is doing right now with Xbox, right? Because they are a very powerful company. I mean, like I said before, they could possibly abuse that power, but that's not the case right now. And they're opening their wallet, and they're using the power of their money, basically. That's like that's their superpower right now. It's just money, right? And people gotta respect that. Microsoft is forcing them to respect that. And then a lot of the things that you see, the Cuphead at the DLC, it was my understanding that Xbox wasn't going to get that DLC right away. But lo and behold, there it is, right? And I'm telling you, it's because Microsoft has the ability, like I said in my previous video, to actually dominate the market share when it comes to gaming, right? And gaming is huge. They're not going to they're not going to control every single aspect of gaming. But as far as the console, right, and the streaming part, yeah, they definitely could be the major player. And once they do that, it's, again, people are going to have to respect them more. And people are going to have to work with them. And people are going to have to cut deals with them. All the stuff that people complain about, right? About Microsoft not getting any love or respect from like Japan, because we don't get this stuff. At that point, it won't matter. This is what you guys should be looking at for Microsoft to do. And the more they do these type of announcements and get these kind of deals done, the better it is for all of us, especially all of us on the Xbox side, which I am. Right? Like I said, my channel is back. It's Xbox all day. So this is what I like to see. Just to kill this narrative. As Hebot says, to start changing the perception that's out there. People's perspective on what gaming is and who dominates gaming. Right? That should be Microsoft. They should be the head. They should be the lead. Right? I trust them more than any other company out there. Right? And the fact that I bought into the ecosystem doesn't hurt either. So. And looking back to this, if this deal goes through in August, I would even go as far as to say that Phil Spencer might have planned it this way, or at least the guys at Microsoft, when they're looking at a timeline, they're looking at their game plan of when they can make this deal happen, dotting their I's and crossing their T's. And lo and behold, Redfall got delayed, and so did Starfield, right? And if they calculated that August, September, this was going to happen, this could have been a little bit more, this could have been harder on those new IPs, right? Because Activision Blizzard has so many IPs that are just, they have huge followings, right? And that's one of the things, that's one of the concerns with the Game Pass X. A legitimate concern of Game Pass, right, is not stepping on each other's toes, right? And they have so much content, but, as long as the subscriber base continues to grow and the engagement is good, then of course, it'll bode well for everybody. But as you can see, if you guys follow Netflix, and I'll do a separate video on Netflix and their situation, right? Their quarterly numbers came out and they had lost some subscribers. And this is something I think Microsoft should look at, because Microsoft faces a lot of the pitfalls that Netflix is going through because of everything for Game Pass is content driven. So they could probably learn some lessons from Netflix. Anyway, I'll do a separate video on Netflix, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I'm totally excited about this. I am a Call of Duty fan. I've been a COD fan for a long time. I kind of dropped off just because, I just wasn't having fun with the game anymore, right? A lot of cheaters out there, dude. Connection for me is not the greatest. Hopefully when they come over to Xbox and Microsoft, will be able to give these guys, the resources and more importantly, the time to spend on the game to make it the best that it possibly can be. Like they did with Redfall, right? And like they did with Starfield. But again, dude, this might be something like an ace in Phil's sleeve, man, where he looked at it and he's like, dude, if he knew that this was going to clear this year, that could be another reason why those other games got delayed. And then he's bulking up for 2023, which is crazy. I'd love to know what the numbers are, just so I can get an idea of where Game Pass is in the subscription market, man. And I would love to see the fluctuations of the membership, right? Because I think when Microsoft says 25 million subscribers, I think what they mean, this is my opinion, I think what they mean is 25 active. Like it could be as high as 40, 45, maybe 50, right? But there's people that are on, the promotional thing, right? Or there's people that dip in and out of Game Pass for whatever reason, and I know they don't show those numbers. It'd be nice to see them, just to get a better idea, man. It's not a console thing. This is just for me, and for the way I analyze things. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think down below, man. This is, this is huge. And once we get this out of the way, then Microsoft can move on to bigger things. All right, on the channel, we'll see you forever. We out.